Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here. Welcome back to another Cardano catch-up where we'll take a look at some of the main news, items and events around the Cardano ecosystem. Lots of new interoperability solutions coming up with the likes of Maya and Maestro bringing decentralized swaps, Wanchain with adding Polkadot to their bridging system, as well as Cosmos, and we'll look at a few of them. Also updates from projects. World Mobile have a lot going on right now. Minswap are getting very close to V2. The DAO proposal is in. We'll take a quick look at that. Sundaeswap seeing some really big increases in trading activity with meme coins really kicking things off on Cardano. Take a quick look at that, as well as the DDoS attack that happened a few days ago. Catalyst voting is open. The interim constitutional committee results are in. So there's a lot to cover. Timestamps will be down below. Give the video a like, comment, questions or anything, share it out, subscribe if you're new. I do appreciate it. Let's jump into it. Okay, so we'll kick it off with Catalyst Fund 12. Voting is now open. There was a small glitch when I went in to vote. This time I got a white screen. So if you get that, what you need to do is just remove the app from your phone, reinstall it, and then connect up again with your QR code and PIN. This is the QR code and PIN you set. Well, the QR code was given to you and you set the PIN when you actually registered to vote. If you didn't register to vote previously, then unfortunately you won't be able to take part in this now. If you haven't voted before but have registered, there's a guide here on how to do it. I can do a video if people need that too. But you come in, click on proposals, look for the proposals that you want to vote for, click on vote yes. Then down the bottom, once you have added all of your selections, you will come in to the final screen to go to my selections, and then you submit your votes at the end. You will be able to change them when you go to the final screen, just like a cart. When you are shopping online, you put everything into the cart and then you finalize it at the end. There's a lot of really good proposals out there this time for voting, and a lot of projects are really deserving of your votes. I will maybe put some lists together. I know there's lots of lists out there on crypto Twitter already. If you have any favorites, do leave them down below so I can take a look before I finalize my own vote. And anyone looking for projects to vote for over at ADA Markets, we really would appreciate your support. We do have 4 proposals in. So far, we've built the platform completely ourselves without taking funding or anything like that. And now we want to really expand it out, maybe bring on some more team members as well. And these are the initial things that we would be looking at. Would be a lending and borrowing aggregator. So this is like the DEX aggregator, only for lending and borrowing. Open source arbitrage bot that anybody can run. Telegram alert bots. This is for keeping track of your wallets or projects or anything that's going on with different tokens or any changes. You'll be getting alerts, which can be very good for security or for keeping you up to date in case you need to make quick decisions. And then looking at trading AI insights. So this will be linking up the data we have at ADA Markets with LMMs to try and analyze what's been happening with different tokens or movements or trades or any of that kind of stuff, and getting daily summaries for people to use as input or as one source of their research. But I'll leave links to them below and maybe do a full video looking more at them when I go deeper into Catalyst. If we look at the overall market then, over on Tap Tools, you can see if we go for the last 7 days, and you can see here the activity has been fairly good. And what you will see is that Sundaeswap has taken a big jump. And I think it was this day here. So this was 2 days ago. Minswap and Sundaeswap both with 8.52 million worth of volume for trading Cardano assets. And I think this is the first time in a long time that Sundaeswap was right up there with Minswap. If you take V1 data, then on that day, Sundaeswap would have been the most used DEX on Cardano, and right now they are on V3, so they do have slightly lower batcher fees, and they are being able to fulfill some orders within the same block. So this is quicker for people actually trading. Minswap V2 is getting very close. We'll take a look at that actually in a second. I won't go to it just yet. But if you come on down, one thing you'll notice, we do have a new entrant here too, and that is AXO. So Tap Tools have added the AXO data into this, and it's great to see that we now have a full overview of all the DEXs on Cardano and what's been happening. And if we come down the bottom, you can see here with AXO, Minswap and Sunday V3 are way out in front in terms of volume and traders and everything that's happening. But it's good to be able to see the AXO data now in here too. We'll look more in that in the Monday video that goes deeper into the markets. Just when we're talking about it there with Minswap V2 and the migrations and how things are going to work. So they have a DAO proposal in to approve the launch of Minswap V2. There is a testnet out if you didn't check that out yet. It does look really good. I'm looking forward to seeing this on mainnet. But the vote here, the main parts of it are approve the launch of Minswap V2 contracts, approve the 2 liquidity migration options. So they will be for automatic migration, so you will be able to do it automatically on the platform. You still need to initiate it because you are the only one can access the funds. But then the second one is if you are yield farming, then you will need to withdraw them from the yield farm, get your LP tokens back, and then do the transition then into the V2 pools. And if I look up here, migration of the DAO owned, protocol owned liquidity. So Minswap holds, I think, 30% of the ADA min pool themselves. So they need to migrate that over to V2 as well. So they're looking for basically approval to do that from the community because that's what the DAO is all about. Approve yield farming allocation to incentivize V2 migration. We'll look at that in a second. And then a 50% discount on the batcher fees. I think this is great. We're seeing a lot of dexes reducing their batcher fees, which for us trading as the end users, this is really good. So if I come down here, yield farming, the way it's going to work right now, it all goes to V1. So this is for people who are providing liquidity. Then they take the LP tokens, they can put them into yield farming and earn some extra on top of that. So what the process is going to be, there will be an automated system that will last for 2 weeks. So does it say, oh yeah, so they're going to split it first. So first off, it's going to be split between V1 and V2. Then after the initial 2 weeks, the same system will apply, but with 50% less farming rewards on V1. Then after 4 weeks, it all moves over to V2, which I think is good. You want to incentivize people to move their liquidity over to V2 because V2 is going to be faster. And when you look down here, it's also going to have cheaper batcher fees. So currently it's 2 ADA on Minswap. You can get discounts for holding the Min token, and it is going to be reduced to 1 ADA. And with the max discount, then it could be down to 0.75 ADA. So good progress. Good to see that we are very close to V2 hitting mainnet now as well. So let's take a look at some of the interoperability solutions that are coming. So Wanchain is a bridge that allows you to bridge between multiple different blockchains out there. They added Cardano a while back now. Liquidity on some assets is still a little bit small, so if you are trading, just be careful to check that first. But a new addition has come to that, and that is DOT. So now you can move DOT over to Cardano, which is great to see more tokens being added into that. Maybe I'll do a demo on the bridge at some point. I think I done one when it launched initially, just a very quick one, but we could do a deeper dive if people are interested in that. Maestro and Maya Protocol, I had an interview with the team. They had a fund or a proposal in Fund 11, the last Catalyst vote, and they got approved to bring their cross-chain transactions to Cardano. So this would be decentralized cross-chain swaps for Cardano. So they already do it for multiple other blockchains, and it looks like that Cardano is very close now. So been working tirelessly to prepare for the integration of Maya Protocol, which will give utilizing cross-chain liquidity and friendly fork. It is a fork of Thorchain. We covered all that when we had the interview. Soon you'll be able to swap your ADA for multiple currencies such as Bitcoin, ETH, native ETH, USDC, ARB, and Ruin. And I presume you will be able to swap the other way as well. So it's not just taking your ADA going out. You will be able to swap them assets into ADA. And that would all be done in a decentralized manner rather than having a third party in the middle that is a centralized custodian. Sometimes that can come back looking for KYC and different things like that. So I'm looking forward to having this option too. Next we look at Cosmos. Cosmos goes interchain. So through the Cardano IBC sidechain, Cardano connects with an ecosystem of 115 IBC enabled chains, the interchain. So Cosmos is a chain that they have their SDK. At one point, World Mobile were going to use the Cosmos SDK, or they did use it for a while, or I had it running on testnet too for the initial version of their sidechain. They were using that, but they have since pivoted, which we covered in previous videos. but I definitely need a deep dive on World Mobile fairly soon. But there's a lot of projects like that that use the Cosmos SDK, and now with this new sidechain, then this will bring interoperability, easy interoperability between Cardano and any of them different projects. Probably one again that needs more of a deep dive to look into it. I need to do a bit more research into it myself as well, and maybe find someone who is more into the tech side that understands it a lot more, that can give us more of a deep dive into what's going on there. Next, we look at the DDoS attack on Cardano, and thought this was a really good short summary of what happened. So the attacker tried spamming expensive scripts to congest the network. This cost the attacker roughly $250 per hour for 12 hours. However, to make it that cheap, the attacker cut corners by removing credential checks. Phil, who's been on here a few times now at this point, and I actually have another video coming out with him in the next few days, him and George talking about Hydra and Hydrazoa and the scaling that is there. But he realized he could claim the attacker's collateral because of the shortcuts they took. The attack stopped as soon as Phil started claiming. So what Phil done then was, and actually just a summary, the attack was unsuccessful, mild degradation at worst, expensive, and the attacker himself suffered the most. Not really that expensive, I would say, to attack a chain, but it didn't bring the chain down or anything like that. It just meant that some transactions took longer to get in because blocks were getting filled by basically these crap scripts. And there is already a fix out for that. There's a new node version out being tested right now that doesn't allow this happen in the first place going forward. But you do have solutions like this. One thing that Phil and a few other devs came up with, one thing that I really liked about this was how the community came together, how a lot of developers in the community, I've seen them setting up different groups and looking at it, and this is how solutions like this with Phil were able to come out, and they were able to build scripts very quickly to counteract this. Now this doesn't mean, and I think there is other posts here, but I probably won't go into them now. I'll leave a link to them below. This is more on the tech side of how it happened or why they were able to get in and close it down. But like it said in this short one here, basically they took shortcuts to set up the script, maybe didn't fully understand how scripts on Cardano work, and that they left a loophole there that meant that anybody could come in and claim when you set up a script, you have to post collateral for it. Like you need collateral in your wallet when you're trading with Cardano. You put in the collateral into the script, but the script they had was basically set to return true every time. So this meant that no matter what you tried to do, it came back and said, yes, that's okay, that's true. So it meant it kept executing on chain, taking up space in blocks, but it also meant that if anybody else came in to try and take the collateral out, it came back true and they were able to do it. So when the script then went to execute again, it didn't have the collateral and wasn't able to execute then. If people are interested, maybe we can get Phil and a few others on to cover this in a bit more depth of what happened, what has been done to fix it, and what we're going to see going forward. Next, we have Intersect. So the results are out for the Interim Constitutional Committee. This is a big step in the process for on-chain governance for Cardano. Next up, we will have the first of the Chang hard forks, or part 1. I haven't seen the finalized date for that yet, but having the Interim Constitutional Committee in place first was a big part of that, and that needed to be in first before we could have the hard fork. And if I look, so this actually, Cardano Foundation voted in this with 20 million ADA. There is the people that they voted for. So Cardano Atlantic Council, Eastern, Lloyd, Johnny, Cardano Japan, and Joshua Stone. We also had IOG vote in this, and they voted for the same members, just in a slightly different order. And they voted with 24.4 million ADA. And if we come back here, I can't see the article. So you can see here candidates' name. So Cardano Atlantic Council got number 1, got over 51% of the vote, massive 232 million ADA. Cardano Japan then with 84 million. Eastern Cardano Council with 46 million. And then Morrow, who I think is very unlucky going in as an individual, going in here with 44 million. And if you look at IOG and the foundation, both supported the 3 winners here. If they hadn't got involved, you probably would have seen the likes of Morrow going in there and getting one of the second 2 spots. I think Cardano Atlantic Council would have got number 1 no matter what. but the other 2 spots might have been up for grabs if they didn't. So interesting to see. They both will hold a seat as well, the Foundation and IOG, and they were getting involved in the voting process. But I suppose that's what it's going to be going forward, is that anybody can come in and have a say of what's going to happen on Cardano. So closing out then, we look at World Mobile. And the recent buyback was actually, I think here, did they say a new record for weekly buybacks in terms of dollars? It was $6,000 worth of WMT. And I think there are new nodes coming out today as well. We'll be showing more nodes added to the network. One person that I always say to follow for World Mobile is Clover Nodes. And this is his recent summary of the community space that happened yesterday. I'll scroll through it in a minute. I just want to highlight this part here for June. So World Mobile will migrate their token to the EVM ecosystem to align with leading blockchain ecosystems. This doesn't mean they're leaving Cardano. The token will be, I suppose, converted, or there will be a swap process. Make sure you only take it from official sources. When there are official guides and everything, I will show you here, because obviously I am a World Mobile holder, have been for a long time now. But it will be WMTX, which I'm glad to see a slight change in the name, because when you start to Google it, at times you will get Walmart coming up as the ticker, because they are WMT as well. But the token will be available on Base, ETH, Arbitrum and BNB. Emphasis on liquidity will be on the Base ecosystem. If you look at what's happening on Base right now, there's a lot of liquidity, a lot of new users coming into the ecosystem. So this should give more exposure to World Mobile. There's still a few more updates to come out, I think. I know Fareed and the guys are going to do a live stream on Saturday night, so I'll be tuning into that one to get more updates there. There's a few Twitter spaces. I think there is an Earth node call today, so hopefully I'll get some more updates on that and be able to do a dedicated video early next week. As it says here, there will be a migration portal process, staking. Just stay tuned to the official links to get all of the information. I'll leave a link to this thread below. I will cover some of that when I do a deep dive video on World Mobile 2. Batch 2 of the nodes are going to be coming. Launch expected in 1 to 3 weeks, or 1 to 3 months, and it will be as low as $700 this time, with batch 1 already installed out there and running, supporting people with connectivity. So there's a lot. Yeah, I won't pick out anything else here, but I will leave a link to this thread. Actually, that's a good one. Minutes Network, anyone that didn't hear. So this is the company set up by Mickey's brother, Josh, who Josh still is a founder of World Mobile 2. They have a separate telecoms business. They do have a lot of synergies between the two of them, and 2.5% of the minutes token supply will be there for World Mobile token holders to claim. I don't know if that's going to be an airdrop yet or a claim process, but again, once we find that out, I'll let you know. Free tokens is always a nice thing to get. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate everyone that stuck with me. Hopefully the info kept you up to date on what's going on now. If you got value, please do share it out. If you're voting in Catalyst, do appreciate any votes for the ADA Markets proposals. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.